Hi learners, you are welcome to our 7th lesson in science. And today, this lesson marks the last lesson on the sources and forms of energy. You are expected to be able to classify or group sources of energy. Remember, in our earlier lesson, we touched on sources of energy in general. Today, our focus will be to classify the sources of energy we have learned into two groups. Before then, what is energy? And where does energy come from? You can mention three. Alright, so now let's look at what is energy. We're saying that it is the ability to do work, or the capacity to do work. 2. Where does energy come from? The answers, we have sun, wind, hydro or water, battery, fossil fuel, etc. So if you have been able to answer these two questions perfectly, then you have done well. Now let's move on to classification of sources of energy. Now we'll quickly run through the sources of energy, then later we'll do the classification. So as you can see, we have solar, that's from the sun, biomass consisting of plants and animals remains, as you can see here. Then we have crude oil, as I pointed out earlier. Crude oil is obtained from the remains of plants and animals that have decomposed over 1,000 years and have formed oil. Then we have firewood, as you can see here, firewood or charcoal. Then we have coal. Coal is that black substance from fossil fuel. Black substance from fossil fuel, from which we get the coal tar. Then we have nuclear. Nuclear, as I pointed out, is generated from splitting or putting together two or more nuclei of atoms. One is nucleus, two or more is called nuclei of atoms. Then we have tidal wave. As I pointed out, tidal wave is a wave resulting from the rising and falling of the sea due to gravitational pull by the sun or the moon. So at certain points, the moon and then the sun pulls the sea level to form what you call high tide. Then when the force is released, it falls back. Now during the fall, we have a huge wave of the sea. And this wave can be a source of energy, especially in electrical generation. Then we have natural gas. We say natural gas can be obtained from crude oil. Natural gas, during the refining process, natural gas can be produced. Then we have hydropower as a result of movement of water, as we experienced in Akosombo Dam. Then we have geothermal. Geothermal, as I pointed out, is as a result of heat from the earth, and that heat can be used as a source of energy. Then we have wind, that's air in motion. So now let's move on to group these sources of energy into two categories. So we're going to group the sources of energy into those that can be replaced after use, those that can be replaced after use within a short period of time, and those that cannot be replaced after use. In other words, it takes a very long time to get back the source. So you have two categories, those that can be replaced after use and those that cannot be replaced after use. So I'm about to display the table for the classification. Good. So we have first column and the second column. The first column indicates these sources can be replaced after use. And the second column tells you these sources cannot be replaced after use. And even if they can, it takes a very long time. So now let's take the first one. We have solar. Sun shines almost every time. The only time you don't see the sun is when it's night. But when day breaks, the sun appears again. So it can be what? The energy can be seen or observed after use. Then we talk of wind. Wind blows quite frequently. Then we have tidal wave. The sea is always there. Geothermal, our earth is always there. So the energy it produces can be replaced easily. Then biomass, we have plants and animals. So their remains will always be obtained. So after using biomass, we have a replacement. And hydropower, we have the rivers still flowing. The only disaster that may happen is when some portion of the river dries out. But rivers in general do not dry out completely, as we have river water, which has been in existence from time immemorial. Hence, all these sources of energy can be replaced after use. Now let's look at those that cannot be replaced after use. We have nuclear. Yes, just as gold, one mine cannot be replaced. We need to explore and dig further for more gold. Nuclear also is obtained from atoms or elements. And these elements, when they are dug out, they cannot be replaced. And so the energy from nuclear, as in atoms, cannot be replaced after use. Then we have firewood. Yes, firewood, you may say we have trees, always trees are there, and so firewood, we get firewood all the time. It is true, but getting firewood as a source of energy after it has been used takes a very long time to get a new plant to grow for you to harvest for the firewood. So that's why we put firewood under this and not under this column. Then battery or dry cells. Battery or dry cells also cannot be replaced after use. When you buy a dry cell and use it, you throw it away. Even the rechargeable one, with time, they become exhausted and destroyed, and you have to throw them away. So that is what we're talking about. Dry cells, especially the dry cells, they cannot be replaced after use. And then we have coal. Coal is from fossil fuel. As it takes so many years, thousands of years to get fossil fuel from which you get coal, the energy from coal, we say, cannot be replaced easily. then natural gas, also from the same fossil fuel or crude oil, cannot be replaced after use. We can think of more examples, but for time's sake, this is what we have. Now, based on our classification, there are some terms I would like us to explain based on this classification. So let's look at those terms. Very good. Now, looking at the first column, where we have sources of energy that can be replaced after use, we have a special term for those sources, and those sources are called renewable sources of energy. Okay, so what are renewable sources of energy? These are sources of energy that can be replaced or renewed within a short time after use. They can be replaced or renewed within a short time after use. So example is solar, wind, geothermal, etc. I hope you are getting the explanation. Then on the second column, we have sources that cannot be replaced after use. So what is the term used to describe such sources? Good. We have non-renewable sources of energy. Non-renewable sources of energy. So we are saying that these are sources of energy that cannot be replaced or renewed within a short time after use. So it takes so many years to have them back. So example is what? Coal, nuclear, firewood, etc. I hope you have understood the lesson well. We looked at classification of source of energy into renewable and non-renewable source of energy. So can you boldly tell what you have learned so far? If yes, then I expect you discuss what you have learned with your daddy, mommy, or your sibling, the main points covered in the lesson today. Now, for our advanced learning, we shall touch on another interesting aspect about how to use the clinical and the laboratory thermometers. How to use clinical and laboratory thermometers. So if you are free, try and research into clinical and laboratory thermometers. So this is the end of lesson 7. Make sure you do the previous exercise and the current exercise in time. So we meet again. It's bye-bye.